Now let's do PvE. So, as you can see in PvE, the ability page remains the same, pretty much. Well, for you guys, it'll remain the same. For me, it's different, but you eventually want to work up to what I have. I mean, you can start like this, and then you can add points into here. But I'm starting the other way because I just like the 3% damage more than the crit damage. I feel like it's more consistent, but I don't know. I mean, I crit a lot, but I feel like this is just more consistent. For PvE, non-chain skills, so I go dodge, of course, still, because you don't get affected. I have a stealth just in case my ranger pulls and he scans me. So we're the best class in the game. JK, we're not really the best class in the game, it's Paladin, but we can stealth and still emergency escape, because in the last patch, in emergency, they fixed emergency escape where you can't do it in battle anymore. So if you're stuck in a dungeon, you're the last one alive, you just stealth and you emergency escape, and you're good. You don't lose any runes, so that's nice to have, I guess. You can use smoke screen too if you want. A lot of people, if you're using smoke screen, I would go this. If you have a Zerker in your party, it increases their fighting power if they're in the smoke for what? 35%? Yeah, 35%. And I think, well, you probably don't go invisible anymore, but I would probably use this in PvE. I have to test this out. But I would probably use this if I had a Zerker in my party. My static is a 3-man static. It's a Paladin, a Ranger, and me. So I probably wouldn't use this as of now, because the only person getting the effect would be me. Again, planned murder, you can go marks. It's very good. It's actually really good. You can go marks. But once again, it's preference. And instead of that, I use execution time. And I max that out. What this does, it gives you malevolence back. It gives you 50 malevolence back. So if you feel like you're like low on malevolence, you can just pop this. And it also reduces your aggro by 100% for 10 seconds. So that's also pretty good. And then last but not least, of course, Acrobat. I usually pop Acrobat at the beginning of a fight in PvE, and then Malevolence, so I can have 100. So none of my skills, waste extra Malevolence, which is really nice. And that's it for the PvE non-chains. And now it's time to talk about PvE tactics. So PvE tactics, I use Assassinate. I go left side for extra 4% damage instead of right side. I might go right side. This might change, because sometimes I feel like I don't have enough critical hit rate when I go into my Envenom tactic. But for now, it's staying like this until like Tuesday. I would say if you feel like you have low crit hit rate, definitely go right side. Don't go left side. Left side's only 4%. You're gonna have more percentage damage if you're critting on every hit here, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But I would definitely go right side for sure. Ignore the left side. Go right side. Strangulate. I have crit hit damage. I have this, definitely get cooldown for sure, 100%. You need this. Well, not this. This is preference. I like this because I can get it off, but you definitely need this. You need cooldown. And then you should definitely have damage in Shadow Dance. That's what I use. Shadow Slash, I'm thinking of going reduced malevolence consumption, but with the quote-unquote rotation I made, I feel like I don't need it. So I just leave it like this. Envenom. Do not go right side at all. Take this all out. You don't need this. You don't need this at all. Just take it out. So you can have extra sapphires for other things. Me, I scanned myself because I thought this was something else, but it's just an additional chance that you add a stack when you don't really need this. I mean, I guess if you have extra sapphires, you can put like 1, maybe, but I would put none. The left side is not good. This is for like PvP if you're going to use this in PvP, but I don't see why anybody would use this in PvP. You can, but you're just really limiting yourself because you just have less gap closers, and then you can get stuck in this stance, and that'd be really bad. You'd probably have to like stealth and just wait to switch stances, which, I mean, sometimes your stealth isn't up, so I wouldn't use it in PvP. Just PvE, for sure. So, I go Malevolence Consumption on this because it's 26. It does take a lot of Malevolence Consumption, and right now, I'm kind of a Pierce build. I go Massacre into damage, and I go Pierce into damage, but the thing about this is very inconsistent. The Pierce is, at least. You have to have 5 marks on Pierce to do damage with it, because if you don't, like, look, let me show you. If you don't have 5 marks on Pierce, this is 1 mark. Look at that, 2.3k. that was one mark. It says it does way more damage than that. The wording says consumes all mark to deal 1704. So at one mark, it should do 1704. Like, base damage. Like, how much the massacre damage did, you saw it hit 8k. It should do, like, another 8k. But it just does so much less. I don't know why. It's really weird. But when you have 5 marks, let me just show you an example with 5 marks. So here's with 5 marks. This is Pierce with 5 marks. 7.6k. That was a low-end crit and a 3-chain. The highest I've hit on Pierce so far is 17k. I don't have recorded footage of that, but I'll show you me piercing a bunch of times so you can get a general idea of how much damage I do with this much fighting power. Oh, sorry. With this much fighting power. But I have hit a 17k before with 5 marks on a 6-chain. And that's kind of what my build revolves around. I'm hoping they fix it. And by fix, I mean they increase the damage and stuff. I hope they don't make it like less damage, because if they do, then this is taken away and my whole build is kind of like ruined-ish, kind of. But if you don't have marks, you want to 6-chain into whatchamacallit, into Fatal Blow. I go fighting power to just have this extra, what is this, 1 2 3 4, I think, yeah, 4% extra fighting power percentage when going into Fatal Blow is just a lot of damage. So this is just 3-chain. That's just a 3-chain. So it's a lot of damage right there. You can 6-chain that, which is really nice. I add damage to that. And I might add Malevolence Consumption, but as of right now, I don't feel I need it. I'll probably add damage into Vortex for mob clearing, because as assassins, you probably already noticed that you don't really have great AoE other than Shadow Dance. And Shadow Dance is unreliable because you need to have 5 stacks on a target. And you have your whole party just attacking all the mobs. So the one you're stacking on, it'll probably die. And then you'll Shadow Dance and then you just have no damage. Like, Shadow Dance with like 1 stack is like nothing. Yeah, it's not that great damage. It's like, I don't even know, like 7k maybe? I don't know. Probably less. Probably like 5k. I don't know how many times Shadow Dance hits. I think it's 5 or 7. I don't know. It's 1 and 2. Well, let me count. Oh, wait. I don't have it up. Oh, well. Yeah, that's why you need cooldown time. That'd be an extra, like, 5 seconds or 4 seconds that I would have on Shadow Dance. Let me see. I switched. I don't know why that's on my screen. That's very weird. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, 7 hits, I think. Alright, so. Back to the PvE. So, yeah. I use double Vortex for clearing mobs. So I use the Vortex in Assassinate. And I use the Vortex in Venom. So this is what it would look like if I'm clearing mobs. I'll probably do this. The more marks you have, the more stretch it has. So this is 5 marks. Look at that. It hits just everything. All of this it's hitting as a Vortex, and it just crits pretty hard, which is also nice. That's what I use to clear mobs. I pretty much just chain that over and over again because it has like no cooldown. And it just does a lot of damage. And then when I see I'm building up marks on the target, I'll just do a Shadow Dance for damage. And then, you know, another Vortex right after. And then switch, another Vortex. And it just pulls in and just does damage over time, which is very nice. Sometimes it glitches out like that, where if you stack 2, it doesn't do damage. So just slow down the Vortex output and just do like 1. Then maybe do a skill to build up mark. And then do another Vortex. And then you can end with a Shadow Dance while the Vortex is going on. Just do that. That's what I do for mob clearing. Now for bosses is why you came here. So for PvE, this is, I guess you can call it a rotation, but this is what I do. This is the selfish build for PvE. This is what I do to see my damage. So I'll just do the skills. You can slow down the video so you can see exactly what I do, but this is what I do. Kind of gotta slow it down so you don't use the marks, and then boom, 6-chain piercer right here. Yeah, that's what I do. And then I'll go into this, then into Fatal Blow, and then back into Vortex for damage over time. And then just stack up my poison with my auto attack. Stack up my poison again. Throw another Vortex down. Stack up. I pretty much do Shadow Dance when it's 4 stacks, so I can get my Pierce. See, it took my stacks there. If it ever does that for you, just go into Fatal Blow instead of Pierce. So I'll show you the rotation one more time. I kind of like slowed it down a little bit so you can see the damage and stuff, but I'll do it one more time, like kind of fast. But I have to give you a warning. As an assassin, yeah, we attack really fast, but if you attack really fast, as you can see my Malevolence bar, it goes down. If it's below 50, it's going to take my stacks, and you really don't want that. You want to take your stacks when you need it, so that's why I use this. I'll probably throw it in mid-combo. Like, if I feel like it's taking too much Malevolence, I'll just use Execution Time, so I can get my my Malevolence back, so I don't get scammed. So I'll do the rotation one more time. I'll show you. This is what it looks like. See, I took my stacks. So now I'll go into Fatal Blow. And then back into this. If it takes my stacks, I go into another Poison. Then another Fatal Blow. And then this you can go into Shadow Dance. But mine isn't up. So that wasn't really a great example. But yeah. You kind of get scammed like that a lot. That's why I put at the beginning I said quote unquote rotation. It's not very reliable sometimes. That's why I'm trying to go into Malevolence reduction into some of the other skills, because I feel like then it'll be reliable. But if you go slow, it's reliable. Here's me going a little bit slower. And then when you switch back, you want to go into Vortex. Just to have a big Vortex. Why not? And stack up Poison. Do another Vortex when it's up. Stack up your Poison one more time. Get ready to Shadow Dance again. Wait for the 50. Here we go. And it's another Pierce. That's what I mean by very inconsistent damage. So you saw that it was a 4K and a 5K non-crit. It's supposed to be way more damage, but it's kind of broken right now. But when you see the damage, when you have the 5 marks and you double crit, I mean, you see how much damage it does. So I'm hoping they fix that, because then this will be like really good. But until then, I really just do this. I go into a different combo. I do 2-3 chains and assassinate. Then I switch. Oh, well, my switch isn't up. I switch and go into Fatal Blow. And then I go into another Poison. And then I do a 3-chain Pierce. It's still good. It's still alright damage. But it's not as strong as the other rotation that I showed you. There's a lot of rotations you can do. It just depends which one you like more and which one you feel is more consistent. But the first one I showed you, I felt is the most consistent with how the skills are right now, even though they're still a little bit broken, sadly. So I'll do it one more time, just to show you, so you can have so you can know. And that's pretty much it, going back and forth over and over again. If you mess up, like I said, if you go too fast, you can throw in other skills. An optional skill, if you don't have Shadow Dance up, I go into 1 for bleeding. And it does decent damage. Well, it bleeds if I crit because I have full Swift. So it bleeds, but what does it actually do? That's a good question. I think it just does damage. Oh, it consumes all mark and inflicts internal injury. So yeah, that's. I mean, I guess you can say it's a bleed. Let's see. Oh well, I have too much. Whatchamacallit, malevolence. But yeah, that's what I do. If you mess up, and when you're going here, just go into Fatal Blow. It'll always come through. Fatal Blow is very good if you mess up the Pierce. But as you can see, the Pierce damage is pretty good. It's not bad. It's very decent. And you pretty much want to always, in PvE, you want to have your Euphoria for your Venom tactic, because that's where you increase everyone's damage. So that's really good. I guess you can keep maybe 1 point into this, because I used to have 4 points and I used to always have 20 stacks, but now I'm noticing I only have like 19 stacks. So that's like, what is that? 3% less damage, so it's not 60, it's 57. But yeah, I mean, you can also increase chance of applying more poison, and just applying more poison. I won't, not here, but probably, no, not here either, just here, just into these two. You can put poison into that, you can go right side. Or you can, if you want, you can just keep like maybe 1 or 2 points here, but eventually, if they do fix this, I'm keeping this like this. This is staying. This is definitely staying, for sure. I'll probably put maybe Malevolence Consumption. Not sure. Not sure about that, because I feel like I don't need it. As you can keep the combo up if you go a little bit slow. And if you go too fast, you always have execution time to help you out. So you can just, if you go really fast, here, I'll show you really fast. By looking at Malevolence War. Here, if you go too fast, you can just pop that right before, and then boom, you have 100, well, not 100, but you have enough Malevolence, and then you just eat it no matter what when you do 6 chain. See, it didn't even show the damage on that Pierce. That's why it's, like, really weird. Like, you see a hit really hard sometimes, and then sometimes it just disappears, but yeah. That's pretty much it for this video. This is what I used so far. This is what I have allocated so far. I'll probably update it if I update. Like, I'll probably make another video entitled, like, updated. But this is what it is right now. It's for everyone who's wondering. This is the Selfish PvE build. Nick will have the full support one. So if you have, like, stronger geared players in your group, you can use that. You'll probably go way faster because, I mean, he does Shadow Raid and increases damage taken by 5%, and like he adds more poison just to keep poison up. He goes into like this and Assassinate, and he has his poison stacks critting more. But I have a good amount of crit and a good amount of fighting power over him, so this is why I use this, because I like to see my numbers. Like, once again, Selfish PvE build. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you find out anything that's better than what I do, put it in the Assassin Discord, or like comment on my video or whatever, or at me in Discord, whatever you want to do. If you find something better, we can talk and stuff. Because it's all pretty much experimentation still until they completely fix the skill tooltips and all that nonsense. So thanks for watching, guys.